So this right here, obviously, this is the Hard Reset podcast with Jeuse, Kastoan. I'm kind of just spitballing ideas. I don't have a particular topic I want to talk on. It's something that's on my mind. For me, um, I love challenges. I love being doubted. I love being expected to fail. I love it. For me, that's what gets me going. Automatically, I'm like, okay, let's go, let's do this. I'm ready. Bring it. Whatever you got, throw it at me. Let's see if I can succeed. I guess you could say. And even then, when I say let's see if can succeed, in my head, there's no let's seeing if I can do it. I know I can do it. I believe I can do it. I will do it. But in the context of you expecting me to fail and me either not doing this before or me not having much experience at it, it's like, okay, let's go for it. Let's see what happens. The hard part for me is not when people doubt you, but when people have no doubts about you, when they expect you to succeed, when they expect you to do well, or when there's a lull period and there's not much going on, it's just, basic, normal stuff, monotonous stuff that isn't necessarily difficult, but it's busy work, something to do to pass time. It's hard to find motivation for things like that. And for me, when I spend so much time being on and trying to not doubt people, but when I'm trying to overcome the doubts of people, once I get to the point to where I've succeeded or I've done well and there's no more challenges, that is where you build your character, I guess you could say. Because you got past the hard part. You got past the doubt. You proved you can do it. Now it is maintaining. Because you're no longer fighting for survival. You're just trying to keep going at the same pace that you're at. So the hard part isn't necessarily a challenge. That's the easy part. Because you're motivated. You want to get this done. You want to work on it. The hard part is getting to the point to where now you need to maintain and stay consistent and not stay consistent in something that's constantly challenging because you mastered it already. So now you're not necessarily working hard to try to beat the odds. You're trying to maintain the status quo that you have set for yourself. Like you have set this standard, just this degree of work that you've done, and now it is expected. So now you need to maintain and find that motivation to keep at that same level that you've been at. That's the hard part. Um, I would say this is actually something that I've always struggled with, I guess you could say, because if there's not a challenge or anything for me to overcome, usually it's very hard for me to try to, you know, find the motivation to maintain. But I can also say, with that being said, in those situations where I have reached the mountaintop and I achieve whatever I was trying to achieve and beat the odds, I I either find a new challenge and try something different, or I maintain at a high level. It's just that now when I maintain at that high level, it doesn't take as much focus and energy because I've gotten into a system to where I can do it with ease and it not really boggle my mind or weigh down on me too much. Mostly that's a great spot to be in. Me personally, I don't necessarily feel it's a great spot to be in because then at that point, I'm like, what am I doing? This isn't difficult for me anymore. This is I've gotten into a rhythm. This isn't this isn't chaotic. This isn't challenging. This isn't. bringing new things to me that I haven't done before that can prove to be difficult. I've pretty much done what I need to do to get to the point to where now this is just light work. Um, what I want to say, I guess the whole point of this is you got to find that motivation. And you don't find that motivation. Well, I mean, you don't want to find that motivation by self-sabotage. You don't want to find that motivation by putting yourself in a hole that you have to dig out of. That new challenge necessarily needs to be okay. I've been good and done this for this amount of time. Now, the challenge is maintain this status quo for an extended period of time. Excellence, staying consistent, keeping up this level of work that I've done previously, and keep pushing myself forward by making it non-negotiable, making it a undeniable fact that this is what's going to happen when I put in the work, no matter whatever obstacles thrown at me. Because obviously, for me, I love challenges. I love chaos. I love curveballs. All of that shit, it just activates me. It makes me want to do well. And puts that extra level of focus that I maybe didn't have prior. I've had at, when I say, oh my job, all the jobs that I've had where I've succeeded, I've actively noticed and took note of people going out their way to sabotage me and my progress. I absolutely notice everything. There isn't one thing that a person can do to try to alter my past that I won't notice. I pick up on everything. Do I say anything? No. What's the point? They're gonna do what they do. I can say something if they want, but in the end, when I say something, it's not gonna stop them from doing it. And even then, what it could do is just be another thing that they do to try to get me to be out of my position and be out of myself and be angry and react angry and become the angry black man, which is what most people expect. They expect if you feel disrespected, then you're gonna lash out, yell, curse them out, or do something that gets you out your way that makes you look bad. And then at that point, it doesn't even matter what they did to you because you retaliated and responded. My whole life, my whole life, I've dealt with people going out their way to get a reaction out of me. That's all I've ever dealt with. My cool, calm demeanor, it bothers people. They wonder why I don't get rattled. They wonder why nothing affects me emotionally. And honestly, I could probably say it's just a trauma response. I probably just learned that from trauma. Like I've dealt with enough trauma to where I notice responding angrily, it just doesn't yield any benefits. And even before I noticed that in myself, it's just not something I wanted to be. I've never been a super angry person, so when people do stuff, was I annoyed? Yes, but I also knew if I react angrily, it's gonna make the situation worse for me. So why respond? There's no need. You just need to stay focused. Plain simple. Stay focused on your goal. Stay focused on your path. Any obstacle they throw your way, overcome it. Plain and simple. That's all I do. And it's not even just when people throw obstacles in your way and try to sabotage you. People say shit too. They talk shit. They they'll mask it as a joke, but it'll be a little. slight jab, just to get under your skin a little bit. Doesn't work. No, because I just don't care about others' opinions and what they say about me, and I don't care about getting other people's respect. I don't. There was a point where I did. There was a point where I cared about getting other people's respect and cared about people trying to throw dirt on my name. There was a point in time where that happened. And honestly, whenever I cared about that, all it did was lead me to be more angry, have more pent up anger, and more irritable and more unhappy because I was so worried about how I was looking to other people based off of whatever this person is saying and doing. But in reality, whatever they're saying and doing doesn't fucking matter. Because people can talk all they want. It's never about the talking. It's about the walking. It's just like a person can talk about how good they are and how great they are all the time. In the end, talking's not gonna save you from actually doing a job well. So you can talk all you want, but if you aren't good, this shit doesn't matter. It doesn't add up. So people are gonna see the real you for who you are. So when I put in that context, I'm talking about people talking shit about me or you, trying to talk down on you. What they say doesn't matter because in the end, when you're put in a situation where you gotta perform, you perform well. So anything they say doesn't fucking matter. I've been put in situations where I need to complete a task and I have not done it before. I have not been trained on it before. Just never done it. And I knocked them out. I did them effortlessly. And honestly, it was because I was confident in myself and I was confident in my ability and I wasn't intimidated by the task. Was the task important? Yes. Was there a lot of writing on the task? Yes. But did it scare me? No. And that's the thing about me. I don't think people truly, you know me. I don't think they truly understand me. I think people expect me to respond a certain way and be intimidated and be scared, scared to make a mistake, things of that nature. None of that shit bothers me. None of that shit scares me. Matter of fact, nothing scares me. I don't care. Not only do I not care, I love being thrown into chaos. I reach a different level of zen. I reach a different level of focus. What is it that they say now? That flow state? I'll be that. That's who I am. I'm just waiting for the opportunity to bring it out. In the end, I think what I'm basically trying to say is you need to find motivation in everything that you're doing. And if you've gotten to a point to where you don't feel challenged anymore and it isn't pushing you to want to do well every time that you're doing whatever it is that you're doing, throw a new wrinkle in there, throw a little wrench, make it harder, challenge yourself, see what you can do to widen your skill, expand your skill set, you know? And if you're at a point or at a job where you can't necessarily, play around with it a little bit and see what you can do because there's a set rules for everything that you do, and you need to do it a certain way. That's fine too. That means you can just shift your goal. Your goal now is to maintain excellence and be consistent and do it over and over and over and over and over again. That's your new goal. You just got to shift your mindset. I'm just Kastoan. This is Hard Reset.